Evil Eye series, Who's Really Testing Me? Part 1. A monologue between pattern and perception. There is a question that has followed me quietly, not loudly, not dramatically, but persistently. And it is this: who is really testing me? Because something is happening, that much I cannot deny. I go out into the world and I encounter situations that feel too similar to be random. People I do not know, places I have never been, different locations, different days, and yet the same type of interaction, the same kind of energy, the same subtle pressure, the same feeling of being measured, tested, as if something is repeating through different phases. And that is what unsettles me, because I have removed myself from those who know me. I have cut off relatives. I do not move in circles where people can study me easily, and yet the pattern continues, not from the familiar, but from the unknown. So the question returns: who is doing this? Is it people or something behind people? At first, the mind reaches for structure. It tries to explain. It tries to locate the source. Could it be organized? Some kind of system, some kind of network, people placed in different roles, police, security, workers, strangers in passing, all behaving in ways that feel strangely aligned, too aligned. And if that were true, then it would mean coordination, observation, assignment, and a hidden layer beyond the visible world. But then another thought enters: why me? What would justify that scale? What would require that many people to participate in something so specific? And slowly, that explanation begins to crack. Then another possibility appears: secret groups, hidden structures, old organizations, symbols that show themselves but never fully explain themselves. You see a sign, a gesture, a pattern, and it feels like a message, like a quiet admission. We are here, we are behind it. But then again, if something is truly hidden, why reveal itself in fragments? Why signal? Why expose? And again, the explanation begins to loosen. Then the third possibility, the one people dismiss quickly or accept too quickly, that it is all internal, that the pattern is real, but the source is perception, that the mind, when it begins to connect deeply, can also begin to connect excessively, that it sees intention where there's coincidence, that it sees design where there is pattern. And this is uncomfortable because it does not deny the experience, but it questions the interpretation. It says, yes, something is happening, but are you sure you are reading it correctly? And then the oldest explanation, the one that does not belong to science or system or society, but to something else, spirits, the unseen, the idea that there are forces moving beyond people, influencing, testing, revealing, choosing certain individuals to see more, to feel more, to notice more. And if that is true, then what feels like a random interaction is not random at all. It is guided, directed, played out through others. But even here, a question remains. Why would such a force need strangers to repeat the same small patterns? Why not speak clearly? Why not reveal directly? Why the ambiguity? Why the repetition without confirmation? So now I stand between explanations, not inside one, not fully convinced by any. That is where the real tension begins. Because something is happening, but the meaning of it is not stable. One moment it feels external, targeted, designed. Another moment it feels like perception is tightening its grip, like the mind is selecting what matches and ignoring what does not. And then another moment it feels symbolic, as if the world itself is a kind of mirror, not controlled but responsive, not conscious in the way we imagine, but not empty either. And maybe that is the hardest truth to accept, that the world can feel personal without actually being about you, that patterns can repeat without being assigned, that people can behave in similar ways without being connected, that meaning can emerge without intention, but the feeling of being tested, that is real, the tension, the awareness, the alertness, the sense that something is being measured, that part cannot be dismissed easily. So the question changes, not who is testing me, but why does this feel like a test? What is being triggered? What is being observed inside me? Because if every situation feels like a test, then either everything is designed to test you, or you have entered a state where everything is experienced that way. And those are two very different worlds. In one world, you are surrounded, observed, moved through by hidden structures, tested from the outside. In the other, you are perceiving patterns with such intensity that the world begins to organize itself around your interpretation of it. And the danger is not choosing the wrong answer. Danger is becoming certain too quickly, because certainty locks the pattern in place. It stops you from questioning. It stops you from adjusting. It turns observation into belief. So now I stay here, not blind, but not fully convinced, not dismissing what I see, but not surrendering to it either. Watching, questioning, holding the pattern without letting it own me. Because maybe the real test is not coming from outside. Maybe the real test is this. You can see patterns without becoming trapped by them. Can you observe repetition without turning it into thread? Can you stay aware without becoming consumed? Because if something is testing me, then one possibility remains. It is not testing my fear, it is testing my clarity. And that is a very different kind of test.